Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking a lot about the unemployment and how that's not even enough for people to make it on. And, I have to tell you, I was on unemployment about 10 years ago and I had the maximum, y'all. And even at the maximum, it still wasn't enough to cover what I needed covered. So I feel for anybody that's on unemployment because America, that's one thing they pay lousy on unemployment. It's lousy. And y'all know what I mean. So this came out in Forbes April 18th, 2020. Proposed $2,000 monthly stimulus checks and canceled rent and mortgage payments for 1 year. This is what's being proposed by Cory Booker, Ilhan Omar, uh, and a few other reps that are proposing this. The CARES Act provides a lifeline for taxpayers and small business, but as a one time cash payment, many fear it didn't do enough to support taxpayers in one of the country's greatest times of need, especially in the light of the fact that many people still have not received their stimulus checks. Yeah, y'all, I hope y'all checked out the IRS. There's an investigation. Some of the people that work for the IRS was stealing the stimulus money. Boy, ooh, not that the IRS had a great reputation to begin with. To address this, members of Congress have made two separate proposals. One that would provide Americans over the age of 16 with a $2,000 monthly check for up to 12 months. I think that's a good idea. And one that would cancel rent and mortgage payments through the duration of the coronavirus emergency. Let's take a deeper look. Reps Cole Kahana, California, Tim Ryan of Ohio introduced an emergency money for the People Act. This act, if passed, would provide additional cash payments to Americans who have been impacted by COVID-19 pandemic. The Emergency Money for the People Act would provide a $2,000 monthly payment for every qualifying American over the age of 16 for up to 12 months. This would include individuals who were left out of the CARES Act, such as high school and college students and adults with disabilities who are ineligible to receive the stimulus check because they were claimed as dependents on another tax return. Not everyone has a bank or home address. To address this, the Emergency Money for People Act calls for individuals to get this money through direct deposit check, prepaid debit card, or mobile money platforms such as Venmo, Zelle, or PayPal. So it's every American age 16 or older making less than $130,000 annually would receive at least 2,000 per month. Married couple less than 260,000 would receive at least $4,000 a month. Qualifying families with children will receive an additional $500 per child for up to 3 children. Those who had no earnings, were unemployed, or currently unemployed would also be eligible for stimulus even if they didn't file a tax return. Those who were not eligible in 2019 or 18 but would be eligible in 2020 could submit at least 2 consecutive months of paychecks to verify income eligibility. Well, I'm glad they're including everybody. All right. You can learn more on Rep. Kaana website or read the full bill. Okay, well, that's good. I think it's way better than a one time payment. I just think that's not good enough. Representative Ilhan Omar introduced the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act. The act, if approved, would call for a nationwide cancellation of rents and home mortgage payments through the duration of the coronavirus pandemic or up to 1 year. And I think that's only fair. If this thing, because, some of the scientists are saying this could be as long as 18 months before we see it fizzle out. And if that's how long it is, that's how long rent and mortgage should be canceled. Your landlord shouldn't be sweating mortgage payments, and you should not be sweating rent. They need to do some kind of moratorium in this country so that, no one should feel insecure during this time. They did something about evictions and foreclosures, and that's good, but they need to take it a step further for people that are paying rent and paying mortgages. I think that's the right thing to do. Everybody is already stressing over the possibility of catching coronavirus. You don't need added stress on top of that. I think this is the right thing to do. So I agree with Ilhan Omar on this one. The bill would include full rent payment forgiveness for your primary residence, full mortgage forgiveness for your primary residence, no accumulation of debt for renters or homeowners, no negative impact on their credit rating and rent history. It would establish a relief fund for landlords and mortgage holders to cover losses. So the government will compensate landowners and mortgage companies during that 1 year period. So they're not going to be hurting if this gets passed. It would create an optional fund to finance the purchase of private rental properties to increase the availability of affordable housing. The bill would be retroactive to March 13th, 2020, and would last for 1 year unless extended. Renters and homeowners who made payments during April 2020 would be reimbursed for their payments. Wow. Wow. No double dipping allowed. The bill would only allow taxpayers to receive coverage for their primary residence. It would not cover second homes, vacation homes, or other non primary residents, those who have both a mortgage and also rent a home. Would have to choose the home for which they would want to receive financial relief. Wow. I think this is a good idea. The Department of Housing and Urban Development would create a relief fund for lenders and landlords to cover the lost rental and mortgage payments they would have received. To receive these funds, lenders and landlords would be required to follow federal guidelines for fair lending and renting practices for 5 years. So, what do y'all think? I think this is an outstanding idea, but it passing, that's a whole different issue. I can see senators and some of the Democrats not wanting to go along with this, but I think America in this particular instance needs to stop being stingy. And you got the money. You seem to be pulling $2 trillion in any money out that you seem to want at any given time. But we know you don't have money for our reparations, but but you do seem to have money for this. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this particular proposal that is coming from the Democrats. I still hate both political parties, but this is a good idea. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.